fancy.
I always like to give it a minute to make sure that it's working. And I
Makes
think it
sense.
is. And I like to sing a little bit to make sure people are still entertained.
Oh yeah, here we go. Come on, show. Come on, here we go. Come
Uh,
on.
uh, uh. I'm here with Jasmine. You better believe that we're gonna do it like Freestyle Love Supreme. I'm just freestyling here with you. I've got Jasmine Forsberg on the YouTube. What?
Whoa, fire! Fire! Wah, 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 wah.
Brr, brr,
Oh my
brr.
gosh.
Well, this was a great opening. So,
Brilliant.
thank you everyone for tuning into The Show Must Go Online. Today's guest is Jasmine Forsberg. Oh, and I did not turn off the audio to my phone, which is going to have
Reminder.
all of the comments section, which it's very helpful to have a separate device so that I can be chatting with you here on the computer, and then on the phone has all the amazing people watching at home. So please comment
Very
away.
fancy.
Jasmine, how are
Fancy
you doing?
stuff. I'm just wonderful now that I'm here with you. Wow. That freestyle just really got me going.
I know, got that Friday energy going, like you better believe.
Oh, yes. Happy Friday. The weekend is here. Every day kind of feels the same, but that's all right. Mother's Day is coming up. We're going to celebrate all the lovely women in our life. It's amazing.
Amen to that. Yeah. Thank goodness for having like these videos and the ability to like FaceTime. That's super helpful.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I wonder, I have yet to FaceTime. Well, my grandma does not have an iPhone. So I'm curious if we'll be able to get her on Zoom. That might be an adventure. That might be a little bit of an adventure.
Let me
So
tell you, when I FaceTime my grandma, she like doesn't understand how phones or really I should say like anything technology works. And so she'll have it up, but I can see like her eye or her forehead.
or like your nostrils or
Yeah.
something.
And
Yes.
I'm like, Grandma, just tilt it down. And she's like, What? I can't hear you. Oh man, I love her
Okay.
so much. She's 91, so she gets an excuse.
Yes, absolutely.
So, just a quick little disclaimer here for everyone watching. If you've watched before, I usually do it inside our house, but today it was just such a beautiful day, and I figured might as well do it outside in our backyard. So if it looks a little weird, I'm looking in the playback, and it actually looks pretty good. So this is a good start. Let's hope it doesn't like rain or someone doesn't start mowing the lawn.
That happened to me a couple days ago. I was trying to film voice final juries because everything was moved online, as you are well aware.
Yes.
Show must go online. I love it. And a lovely lawnmower just went off in the middle of a take, and I had to wait like a good 30 minutes for it to end. And the good lighting was like running out. So, but we got it. We're all good. It's all
Yes.
done.
Yes, yes, you must prevail. I know it's always those funny moments. I used to be filming, like, like a live report or an intro to a show going on, and, like a car would go by right as you hit the punchline, or, just like an endless amount of things would happen. And you're like, whatever, like, this is live theater in some aspect, the new
Yep.
version of live theater.
It is. I hope it goes back to the old version. I do, but
Yes.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
It will. So let's just start by like how has this quarantine been for you? Tell me about like what it was like being a student at Penn State. I know you took some time off to be in Love and Hate Nation, and also you were in Broadway Bounty Hunter, which we will talk all about. So just like go off.
So, I mean, in many ways, going back to school, I had taken the semester off in the fall, and so going back, I was rejuvenated. I was refreshed. I was ready to start this brand new year with so many. I was so motivated and excited, and so when this happened, obviously it affected everyone, but it was a big bummer to have to go back home. However, I'm very fortunate to be holed up somewhere where it is nice and warm. I'm currently in Orlando, Florida, and right out there is a pool. So I've been spending a lot of time just getting some fresh air that I feel like I miss when I'm cooped up in a theater building all day long for classes. But I've been spending a lot of time with my family, which has been really nice to get some unanticipated time with them, especially since this technically was going to be one of my last summers home. So it's been really nice to have this unforeseen time with them and just get to spend some time with my dogs. They're getting old. They're 15 now. They're getting so old and gray. And I've tried to sit down and give myself a chance to write music because I love to write songs. And it's been hard. That's been a little bit difficult. It's kind of been like trying to pull teeth a little bit. But I've been giving myself a chance to do that, which sometimes I don't have the time to do while I'm at school. So in many ways, it's put things into perspective and allowed me to reassess some priorities in my life. So that's been nice. And I'm just glad that I'm able to breathe a little bit through this. And I feel for all the people, all of my friends who are in the city who can't leave their apartments right now. And I'm really, really I am wishing them the best. And I'm hoping that the entire world recovers sooner rather than later, as everybody wants. So, but it's been nice I got a bike and I've been biking a lot.
Oh, nice.
My legs kind of hurt because I went on a 20-miler this morning. So.
Whoa. That's
It was fun,
impressive.
though. Thank you. Don't mind me while I drink my kombucha.
Ooh, I do like kombucha. I have my fancy sparkling water in a in a chalice.
Delightful, a chalice, so royal.
Yes, I feel like it. I like to use fancy glassware. Actually, it started with my first live chat with Joe Iconis and Lauren Marcus because, well, we love them, first of all. They're
Duh.
and sometimes it is like such a weird, crazy world right now. And if like a little like fun glass with sparkling water can bring a little bit of joy, then that's like what we can do, right? And then it led to them
Absolutely.
like finding their different glasses that were fun and funky. And it's just like I love in these live videos like what can happen, right? Like there's no script, and that's the best part.
It's live. It's theater, baby. Live
It's
theater.
theater. And actually, interesting point of what you were saying earlier. So, like, really up until maybe yesterday when I was talking to one of my friends, um, I felt guilty about having this nice place out here in Washington. I'm lucky to be here with my boyfriend, and we have a cute dog who's sitting right here with me. And so, I was doing the videos inside, and, there are other reasons like rain and whatnot, because we are in Washington State where it loves to rain. But I thought, she kept saying, like, no, you have a beautiful background. Like, I think the people who are cooped up would be upset that you're not taking advantage of that. And I thought that was a really interesting take of, like, I was so concerned, but I was looking at it through one lens instead of, like, no, I think people could use a little sunshine.
I love that. Absolutely. It's nice to see you out there because everybody who I've Zoomed through classes and whatnot have been in like their bedrooms, sitting on their bed or in a dark corner of their house or something, trying to find that one quiet spot where their family won't like be barging in or something. So yeah, enjoy it for sure.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So cool. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess we might as well go in like chronological order here. So tell me like your origin story. And I have to also throw in every time someone says Orlando, I always want to sing Book of Mormon, Orlando, I love you, Orlando.
Always. And all of those parks that are mentioned are closed right now, which is, that's such
SeaWorld and Disney, putt, golfing.
Oh my gosh. First of all, yes. Every time I say Orlando, it's always accompanied with like a House of the Mouse or the Sunshine State. Like it always has its little tag.
Yeah.
So I love it here. I really do. I'm happy that I'm here and I'm happy that my family, I have someplace warm. When I finally move to the city, I'll be able to be a snowbird for the holidays. So that'll be nice. But origin story. So like back in time, like baby jazz.
Let's go back.
All right, we're going back. So, I feel like when I was younger, my mom threw me in dance classes. I lived in Chicago, so I started ice skating, and there are several pictures on my dad's little website of his that is still up for some reason, pre-MySpace, pre-Facebook, of me ice skating and falling because I wasn't that good. But when I moved to Orlando, that's when I started taking voice lessons. And it was only a matter of time. So I had the dance, I had the voice. It was only a matter of time before musical theater somehow just came into the mix. And so I did my first production at Magic Curtain Productions. It was 101 Dalmatians. I played Penny. She was not a very big part, but honestly, I was still thriving in my little spots, my black and white. It was a great time. And I fell in love, truly. And it was one of those things where I never fought my mom to go to rehearsals or anything like that. I was always so excited, so eager. And when and things one thing followed to another, one thing led to another, and I started working professionally at the Orlando Repertory Theater when I was 10. And so I did virtual school because rehearsals were during the day. I couldn't miss as much school as they required me to. And that was a relationship that I took all the way up until essentially when I graduated high school. That's some place that I worked. And along with the Winter Park Playhouse too. And so Central Florida, really, that's where everything started to fall into place. And I knew from a very young age that this is what I loved and this was my passion, but it wasn't up until I got to school, and this past year actually in particular, it was when I really realized how I was able to, unlike now where I can't articulate it, I was able to articulate why I actually loved it so much. And that is that this past year, I've had so many opportunities to give voice to characters who don't normally have a voice on stage. And so it's been so exciting to use my background as an Asian American woman along with roles that, aren't usually portrayed on stage. Like, that's something that really excites me. And it feels like low key, not even low key, like that's like a goal of mine in the future, is to be able to continue to do that. And if roles aren't being written, which I hope they are, of course, I hope some great new art comes out of this time period. Right. But also because I love to write, it's up to me, I already have my perspective, and my perspective is always going to be infused in everything that I write and everything that I do now. And so why not write my own show? I don't know. I'm not saying it is that easy, definitely not, but it's something that I've definitely considered. So that definitely went from like 7 years old to like 20 within a matter of seconds. Definitely skipped a couple points there, but long story short, I knew that I wanted to do this from a very young age, and it was something that I fought for because I know that this is not the most conventional career to go down. It's not the most stable necessarily. However, it is where my heart is. And after many conversations where I told my family I didn't want to be a doctor because that's not what I was going to do, I found my love, and they saw that too. And I'm so happy where I am. I went to Penn State. I committed there. And that was something that kind of came out of the blue too. However, when I auditioned for their program, I auditioned for a few programs across the country, and a lot of the pressure was to try and stay in state because of finances and whatnot, as that makes sense, Yeah. But when it came to Penn State, they were the only program that asked me to play one of my original songs, because I slyly carried my guitar into the room to every audition.
Oh,
and
look, what is this doing here?
What's that? They said that. They said they saw that I brought the guitar in and they were curious about it. And I told them I love to write music. Like, it's a huge part of who I am. And they asked because I think one of the things that I love about Penn State, of the many, is that they want to get to know you as a performer, but they want to get to know you as a human, like, more importantly. And because that was such a big part of me, they asked me to play a song, and I got to do that and show them a little piece of me. And so that was a really, really big reason why I felt such a draw to go there. And then that started a whole new thing, which I'm sure we'll talk about in very soon. But yeah, now I'm at Penn State. I am a rising senior, and I'm very excited. Time flies. My gosh, I've been having so much fun, but it's also been a lot of work. And here I am. Yes.
Here you are. Wow, so much to unpack there because it is incredible to see someone's journey who had a passion so early and really followed that. You know, my passion, I never really knew what I wanted to do except I knew I wanted to be in the center of something. So I didn't know if that meant be like, work at MSG and like get to do like theater and sports and
Hmm.
concerts, but I knew that there was something cool about getting to speak to people, right? Like the people who you see on stage or who play. So I was originally a sports reporter when I knew that I couldn't, when like being an athlete professionally was not going to like pan out because that's only like a limited amount of people. And, people's passions change and here's my dog just chilling. He's doing a
Hi,
doggy
Daddy.
dog. He's really good at it. And oh, I have to show you. Hold on. If I just tilt this ever so slightly, he's
Oh my gosh. You Bubba.
he's perfect in every way.
Don't you love it when dogs stretch and their paws just like stretch out when they stretch? It's just so
Yes.
cute. I love them.
Oh my God. Truly love everything about him. Oh, I'm obsessed. Yeah, probably like, I shouldn't tell my boyfriend, but probably the best part about being out here. No, I
We'll
love
keep it
dogs.
between us. It's
Yeah,
fine. Hey,
exactly.
YouTube. Shh.
But yeah, like to have that passion and to have, your family like be on board with that and then to go from, Chicago, Orlando, Penn State. And what I think is so cool is that Love and Hate Nation first did their performance at Penn State, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
got to like work at that originally and then it went to Two River Theater. So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So that production, Love and Hate Nation, it was part of a larger musical theater commission program that we have at Penn State. And so that was the very first show that was ever written as a part of this commission project. And it was written for the class of 2017, I believe. And I remember when I visited Penn State, they were rehearsing it as part of their senior studio. And so just yesterday, actually, we met with the junior class, the now rising senior class, met with our commission writers. So it's just interesting to
Wow.
see, these projects really go places. They're very much things that will be in the industry, in the field, and people will see them, and it's exciting. Nonetheless, so Love and Hate Nation, I remember when I auditioned as a little freshman, I went in and I sang a song on my guitar, and Joe was in the room, which is just crazy. Like it's so insane. Tony nominee Joe Icona is just sitting in Penn State. Let's go! Oh, just so cool, so cool. But that process, yes, was very very exciting because that was one of my first experiences with new works, with new musical theater, and it was so cool to really have nothing to reference when you are starting with this new project, this brand new idea, and that was really at the time, that was the most creatively liberated I've ever felt in my entire life because every day, new script pages, every 5 minutes, a new key for a song, new line here and there, and all the professionals out there know that that's just the business. That's just what happens. But for little freshman Jazzy, that was very exciting for me and something so new, something that I had not really experienced before, and it was encouraging because Joe was in the room with us throughout essentially the entire rehearsal process, and Jennifer Werner, who directed, choreographed Broadway Bounty Hunter, she was the choreographer of the show of Love and Hate Nation at Penn State, and so she would come in every weekend or so. And give us this badass choreography. Oh my gosh, I felt so hardcore. It was amazing. But what was so exciting about it, too, in retrospect, is that they spoke to us as artists. They spoke to us college performers, the same way as they speak to the most seasoned Tony Award nominated professional actor. And that's just a testament to the training at Penn State that we're getting. And that just excites me for all the future people who get to go through this program. Like, it's really, really a special place to be. And I'm sure other programs are very much like that too. I can't really speak on them because I don't know any other program, but it's just so exciting to see that the caliber of training that's out there for these young, passionate artists is very much paving the way toward a future of Broadway that is really like top tier, really exciting, really, really awesome stuff is coming out of these schools. And it kind of in a different tangent, but like I know my senior class is not going to have their showcase for a little bit of time. It's been pushed to September, so I'm just excited for them for the world to be able to see what they can do, because it's just, there's a special group of people that is going to come out of this entire situation, and I'm excited to see where everything goes. But back to Love and Hate Nation. That was just honestly a phenomenal experience all around. And again, at the time, I felt so creatively free and stimulated and just excited. And I never would have thought that I would get to do it again. So that was just amazing to be able to tackle that role again with so much time and training in between the two processes. That was just amazing.
And like to be able to have it with a lot of the same people, and like Joe in both of those, John Simpkins, like, you know, to transfer it over, was it weird being at Two River Theater and thinking like, we did this at Penn State and now there's a whole new large audience and they're like, this is like the world premiere?
It was so exciting because people responded to it at Penn State, for sure, of course. That's why it got somewhere. But it was exciting because the demographic at Penn State, for the most part, I mean, it was a certain age that was seeing it. Whereas at Two River Theater, you had people, I don't know, I saw 10-year-olds in the audience, and then I saw the older crowd as well in the audience too, and very much they were still responding to it. And it just goes to show that like there are themes out there. There are themes in that show. There are songs in that show. The songs, my gosh, the music. But it resonates with people. And it's something too, because that show took place in 1962. So particularly those older generations really could identify with some of that aspect, or when oh wait, I almost said something else.
I know. I was like, oh wait.
No, never mind. Cut. Live.
Keep the secrets.
Keep the secrets. But yeah, but then you get the people too who are younger too, who have not lived in that generation. I definitely did not live in that time period, but it was just so interesting to be able to go back into that time, into a completely different mindset where our country was in a different place completely. And so it was, yeah, it was exciting to see a whole different audience really respond to it and have it resonate with a bunch of different people too.
Completely. I think one of the best parts of Joe Iconis's work, which is saying something because it's just one of my favorite things in general, just anything Joe Iconis does, I'm like, oh, I now love this very much. He's so inclusive. He's so diverse. All of his works just have so many different voices. And that, you know, I've been so lucky to interview him a bunch of times, and that he says, you know, he's able to write the female character, the diverse character, the trans character, the person from another ethnicity character, because like that's who he sees on the subway, right? And that should be such a simple thing, right? Write about the people around you, write about the world, because the world is not just white or just a man or just a straight person or just any of these things that people can fall back on. I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, but the fact that
Absolutely.
his characters are so human in every aspect makes it so much more exciting and inclusive. And then to have, you know, a trans character, to have multiple Asian American characters, it's amazing.
Absolutely. And the two big productions I've done thus far have been with him and with his guidance and whatnot, and with his words, along with Lance and Jason. But what I think is so special about that trio, but as well as just Joe on Love and Hate Nation, is that when he's writing, he really listens to the people who are telling these stories. Because of course he doesn't have the perspective of an Asian American woman who is 5 foot tall. Like that's just not that's not the reality of things. But when we're in the room, his ears are always turned on to the max, and he's listening and observing, and really he cares about what we as artists have to say and what we as humans have to say about what we're saying on stage. And so that's really, really a special quality that he and Jason and Lance possess, and I'm excited to get to work with them again in the future, hopefully, but then also I'm excited to see what other people out there do the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. The idea that people actually listen to other voices, that they're not the ones who, right, I'm the Tony nominee, I have this great idea, so we should listen to it. Like, what makes people great are their abilities to work with other people and let the best idea in the room win.
Yeah, totally.
So exciting. So then let's talk a little bit about Broadway Bounty Hunter. How did that process work? I read a little bit of a previous interview you did, but I want to hear it from your voice.
That was crazy. My gosh, I smile thinking about it because all of it kind of happened a little bit more than a year ago, month, and it was just so exciting. But so I woke one April morning to a Facebook message from I believe it was a casting intern at Roundabout ? I could be wrong, so do not quote me on that. But it was a lovely message asking for my email, and it just came down the tempo. I wanna hang on to every word you say. You got me la la legato, heartbeat staccato, triple the feelings inside. Don't matter the charts.